Hello yogis, welcome to our flow class. We're going to begin by coming into a wide-legged child's pose. Just spread your knees wide, walk your hands out in front of you, surrender your forehead to the mat, and allow the heart space to move towards your mat as you sink your sit bones toward the heels. And let's begin with a deep cleansing breath in through your nose and out through the mouth. One more time, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now seal your lips, come into your Ujjayi breath as we come into our tabletop position with shoulders aligned directly over the wrist, hips over the knees, and we'll take some cat-cows, linking breath to movement, rounding the spine as we exhale, and then inhaling, dropping the belly and the heart as we gaze forward. No need to move with any certain rhythm here, just move with your own breath. Link the breath and the movement. After this next exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, and let's step the right foot forward as we sweep the left arm up to the sky. Coming into a twist. Gaze up at that top hand, and then lower the hand, straighten through the front leg, and let's fold forward for a pyramid pose. We can stay on the back toes for this variation. Think of shifting the left hip forward and the right hip back. It's our first pose here, so don't try to push to any crazy edge. Just feel something and stay there. And then we'll flatten that back foot as we rise up for a warrior two. Right toes face the front of the mat as we push heavily into that back foot. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Right arm up and overhead. And back through our warrior two. We'll take eagle arms here. So in this variation, let's wrap the left arm underneath the right, crossing at the elbows and the wrists. And then think of pulling the elbows away from the shoulders, hands away from the face, just initiating a nice stretch across the shoulder blades. And keeping that position with the arms, turn to face the top of your mat as we pivot onto the left toes, and then hinge forward, elbows kiss the knees. Crown of the head still reaching forward. And if you're feeling really stable, you can drop the elbows below that right knee. From here, we'll come into a balancing pose. Don't be surprised if you fall out. Just come right back into it, lifting left heel up to the sky. Try to get a nice straight line from left heel through left hip, out through the crown of the head. And without touching the left foot to the earth, rise up, coming into our eagle pose, wrapping the left leg around the right, bending at the knees, sinking back through the hips. And if you're feeling stable, you can hinge forward, dropping the elbows down toward the knees. Stay here and breathe. On your inhale, slowly release. Right fingertips reach toward the earth, left arm to the sky, left leg extends to the wall behind you. And then bend the left knee, reach back with the left hand and clasp the outside of that ankle. Maybe play with floating the right fingertips off of the earth to find some balance and core strength here. Let's release. Left hand to the earth, and then left heel reaches up toward the sky. Crown of the head magnetizing toward the earth. On your inhale, step that left foot forward to meet the right. Lengthen the spine and exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Hands come through heart center. We'll take a twist, bringing the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Palms press strongly together, and think of bringing the heart in line with those hands. So it may not quite get there, but just have the intention that you're moving that direction. And on your exhale, release. Halfway lift and forward fold. Separate the feet mat distance, and then let's take the 2 peace fingers of each hand and wrap those around the big toes and fold forward. Elbows moving out toward the sides of the mat. On your inhale, lengthen the spine, release the hands back to the mat, heel toe the feet to touch, and we'll step the right foot to the back of the mat, right hand plants as left arm sweeps up to the sky. Let your gaze follow the left fingertips. Nice strong line of energy from the right hand through the shoulders and up and out through the left fingertips. On your exhale, lower the left hand, straighten through the left leg, stay on the ball of the right foot for this variation. Coming into our pyramid pose. Just notice how that left hamstring is feeling. How are you arriving here on your mat today? It changes day to day, so today's practice will not be the same as any other day's practice. Be mindful. Notice how you're feeling today. On an inhale, we'll flatten the left foot, rise up for warrior 2. Sink deeply into your lunge, and let's reverse the warrior. Coming back through our warrior 2. And we'll take eagle arms. This time, right arm underneath the left. Think of pulling the elbows away from your shoulders. Hands away from the face. Still staying committed to your lunge. Staying here. And then as you're ready, pivot toward the top of your mat, keeping the engagement of the arms, pivot onto the right toes, and then drop the elbows down toward the knees, or maybe even past the knees. On your inhale, slowly rise into our warrior 3 pose with bound eagle arms. Flex that right foot. Think of stamping the heel to the wall behind you, and then rise up without touching the right foot to the earth. If you can, wrap the right knee on top of the left. Maybe tuck the right toes behind that left calf, coming into our eagle pose. If you're feeling stable, you can drop the elbows down toward the knees, finding your balance. One more breath, and we rise back up, this time coming into our half moon pose. Left fingertips to the earth, right hand to the sky. And then we'll bend that top leg, reach around, clasp the ankle or the foot. Maybe play with floating the left fingertips up and off of the earth. And then let's release. right hand to the earth, right heel reaches up to the sky. Feel the sensation here, linking your mind to your body, linking your breath to your body. Let's step forward with the right foot and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper this time. And this time, separate the feet, hip distance. Let's come into Padangusthasana, hands slipping right under the feet. I like to bring the elbows so they're magnetizing toward the back of my mat. I just feel that that gets a nice stretch through the wrist. So play with that. See if that opens the carpal tunnel of the wrist joint for you. This can be a really nice way to offset working on your computer and all of the forward motions we do with our wrists. And let's release the hands, heel toe the feet to touch, lengthen through the spine as you inhale, and exhale, fold forward, head to legs. Utkatasana, as you inhale, sink back through your hips, bend the knees, hands to heart center. Let's take a twist, right elbow to the outside of the left knee, left elbow pointing up toward the sky, twisting deeper with each breath. And then let's slowly release the hands back to the earth, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, get long through the spine. And this time, let's separate the feet. I'm going to separate the feet mat distance. Toes kind of come off of the mat for me here. So just see what feels right for your hips. Everyone has a different hip girdle, so you might point the toes more forward or the toes more out. Either way, heels are sinking down into the earth, sit bones magnetizing toward the earth, elbows press into the knees, and hands rest at heart center. You can stay right here in Malasana, or if you'd like to play with a crow pose, feel free to create a little shelf with your elbows. So we want a nice 90-degree angle, and we'll begin by lifting one foot, then the other foot, maybe both feet off of the earth for that crow pose. And if you're in crow, feel free to jump back and take a chaturanga. We'll exhale into downward facing dog. And if you're in Malasana, just step back and meet us in downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, big breath out. On your next breath in, reach the right leg high. As you exhale, step the foot between your hands and lower the left knee. Place the right hand to the inside of that foot and then heel toe the right foot to the edge of your mat. Maybe the toes point out at an angle. Feel free to come down to the elbows and rest here. And if you'd like, you can take that left forearm across the mat and reach back with the right hand, clasping the left ankle. Coming into Utthita Ashwa Sanchalanasana, beautiful Sanskrit name. Take a few breaths here. Think of opening up through the heart. And then let's slowly release that back leg. Know that you might be spring-loaded there, so gentle on the release. Heel toe that right foot back to the center of the mat. And then let's walk over to the left side of the mat. Point the right toes up to the sky. Coming into Skandasana. Left hand reaches down to the earth, right arm up to the sky. And if you'd like to create the mala here, the malasana, you can reach back with that right hand and find the left hand, creating that garland, the mala, around the left knee. You can release that at any time, separating the hands in opposite directions. or hands to heart center. And then let's walk our way over to the top of the mat. One more time, lower the left knee down to the earth. Place the palms on that right knee. Bend the back left knee. Clasp the left ankle with the left hand. Right arm reaches up alongside the right side of your head. Think of opening the heart. The hint of a back bend here in this pose. Maybe the chin tips toward the sky. And then we'll gently lower the hands to the earth. Let's shift back, coming into our hamstring stretch, right toes up to the sky, right leg is straight. Feel free to stay right here, or if you'd like to play with splits, you can reach that left foot forward, walk the left foot back. Just move the feet in opposite directions. If you're almost into the splits but not quite there, maybe think of placing some blocks underneath the palms and just pressing into those blocks. Wherever you are, breathe, feel sensation. Don't worry about what your pose looks like. Just notice what it feels like in your body. You want to push yourself to the point of feeling something, but not so far that that something feels like pain. We'll slowly make our way out of the pose and come into a plank pose. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. Then we'll come back into plank pose, this time side plank. Left hand is the foundation, right arm reaches high. Stack the feet one on top of the other. Think of lifting up through that left side body. Belly is engaged, core is strong. Lower the right hand, flow through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step that foot forward. Place the hands to the inside of that left foot. Feel free to stay on the hands or lower to the elbows. You can cross the right forearm across your mat and reach back, bending the right knee, clasping that if it's accessible. Open through your heart, open through the chest. And then let's slowly release, gently coming back to both palms. Heel toe that left foot back to the center of your mat, and then let's walk over toward the right leg. Coming into our Skandasana, hands can begin at heart center. If you're stable here, separate the hands in opposite directions. One hand reaching up, one hand reaching down. And if you'd like to create that mala, that's where the name Malasana comes from, then reach back with your top arm, reach under with your bottom arm, and then just see, do the fingertips meet one another? And if they do meet, think of opening through your chest once you've locked those fingers. And we'll slowly release, walking back to the top of the mat. And from here, let's place the palms onto the left knee, bend the back knee, reach back with the right hand and clasp the ankle. Left arm reaches up alongside the left ear. Let your gaze lift up toward the sky. If this is hard on your knees, take a moment to pad your knee. Maybe fold the yoga mat over or place a blanket under the right knee. The more you shift forward toward the front of that kneecap, the better that will feel on the right knee. And we'll slowly release, both hands down to the earth, straighten through the left leg. Maybe just stay here and fold forward. If you'd like to play with splits, you can begin to shift the left heel forward as you reach the right heel back. Just see how far you can go until your body says that's enough. Again, options to place blocks underneath the hands. Maybe bring the hands to heart center if you're in full splits. Releasing the ego, not being concerned with what the pose looks like. Instead, bring all of your awareness into the sensation that you're feeling. Breathe space into the tight places. And then let's slowly make our way out. Coming through a chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out, and then we'll come into side plank on our second side. This time, right hand is the foundation, left arm reaches high. Let your gaze follow the left fingertips, and then think of engaging the low belly, so the space underneath the belly button. Just gently pull that in and up. That's known as your Uddiyana Bandha, just an energy center in the body. Lower the left hand, float through a chaturanga if you're taking those, or maybe just a couple of push-ups. If the back is feeling like it's had enough of those upward facing dogs, take some push-ups here as I am. If you'd like the chaturanga flow, feel free to take that. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. And once we arrive, take a breath in and release that with a big breath out. Gaze forward, and let's jump to the top of the mat to a seat. Nice straight spine, coming into a little core engagement here. Dare I say, Navasana, boat pose. So legs can be straight or bent. And let's lower down onto our back. Place the feet on the earth. We'll come into a bridge pose, lifting the hips. Interlace the fingers underneath the tailbone, straighten through the arms. Just take a moment here to receive the benefits of this pose. There's nothing else to do, just be in it and breathe. And then we'll slowly release the hand, release the spine, hug the knees in tight, and then just rock yourself forward back into Navasana, boat pose. Flex the feet, engage the belly. Breathe. And then once more, lowering down, coming back up. Couple more rounds, lower down and back up, Navasana. Lower down and back up. Pause. And then this time for real, lower down onto your back, hug the knees in, shift the knees right and left, just massage your spine. Release the feet down to the earth, coming into our second back bend. So option to, once again, just take a bridge pose. If coming into a full wheel pose is part of your practice, you can do that here. And if you'd like to down level things, you can take a block and place it underneath the tailbone, coming into a restorative bridge. If you're in traditional bridge, let's reach the right toes up to the sky. Nice straight leg in line with the right hip. And then we'll lower the right knee in line with the left and release the right foot to the earth. Take a moment to reset, then straighten the left leg and lift it up toward the sky. Still think of lifting up through the sit bones. So sit bones are reaching up toward the sky. And then we'll lower left knee in line with the right. Bend the knee, foot back to the earth. Release your hands and lower down to the mat. Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet touch, knees open wide. Place your right hand on your heart, left hand on the belly, and let's begin to slow things down. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We'll pull that Baddha Konasana up off of the earth, so soles of the feet are still touching. Just interlace the hands around the feet and then pull the feet up over the heart. Knees will reach down toward your mat. And then from here, opening up into a happy baby, clasping insides or outsides of the feet, rocking side to side. And then let's release. Left leg reaches long, right knee stays bent. We'll wrap the right knee over to the left as we gaze to the right. Releasing any tension in the spine and the neck. And then we'll come back through center, hug both knees in. And this time, right leg extends long. We'll take the left knee across the body to the right as we gaze to the left. Think of pressing the left shoulder down toward the earth. And then come back to center, hug both knees in. Let's give ourselves a great big hug. Wrap the elbows around the knees. Bring the forehead up toward the knees. And release. Coming into Shavasana, our final resting pose. I happen to think this is the most important part of yoga. We move the body, we balance the energy, so that we can rest here and be fully present in our body. Allow the mind to just wander. If there are thoughts that come, let them be as clouds passing through the sky. And you rest as the witness of all of this. Begin to deepen your breath, and as you're ready, come into a full body stretch, arms overhead, legs extend long, and then we'll bend the knees, hug them into the chest, and we'll rock up into a seat. Keep your eyes closed for this last portion of practice. Coming into your seat, simply draw the hands to the heart center. Take a moment to feel gratitude. Gratitude for your body, for your practice, for the ability to move and breathe. Carry this gratitude with you through your day. Thank you so much for practicing with me, for allowing me to be your guide. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day. Namaste.